In this video, we'll be setting up our vue.config so we can use global scss files, and we'll also be setting up the last thing I just forgot, but we'll get back to that. First things first, let's go to Vuetify, and if you expand the customization over here, we have a new one called scss variables, and we really want to install this to our system. So scroll to this and just scroll a little bit down and to this single file text down here. That's what we want really. So we're going to copy this. This is what we used in the last one, but there's an issue with scss compared to scss, as they mention here. If we want to use scss and we want to use this, we need to have this chain webpack so it can find the correct files at the correct times and so on. So go back to your Visual Studio Code, go to your root and make make a file called vue.config .js, and just stop your server down here while you're at it. In your config, punch this in. You can remove this up here, and now we can see they imported it from scss folder and main CSS. We're just going to call ours the same, else we'll have to start changing things here. So it's just easier. We want to place this in our source folder. So click the source folder and create the folder called, what do they call it? Scss. And then in the scss one, we want to create our folder called main.scss. This is the things we want, so just quickly do a save here and go back to your main. So we're just going to test this. Since we already have an h1 somewhere, I think, if you don't have that, in our, we'll just create it, in our app.vue here. I can't remember if this previous video or this one, but let's just create an h1 and write test. And I just do this in the container in the content area. So we have this here, right? Save. And go to your main CSS again. So we're just gonna quickly create a test for this one, and that's gonna be the color red for our h1. So let's do this quick, see if it works here. Cool. Oops, mine is down, so it doesn't work. Why did it show red one then? Weird. But anyways, let's build this up again, and hopefully it will change it to the red color for the test area in a moment. If yours doesn't work, you can go up here, scroll back up here, and you can do this npm install here. So install scss loader fibers deep merge. If it doesn't work, if it works, great. If it doesn't work, you get an error. Go back to this and set this in the command line and refresh. Cool. So we have this here. Now, final test I want to do to make sure that it works is back in my app. This is again my CSS. If you scroll down to your bottom of your app here, we're just going to do styles real quick. And we're going to add CSS, and we're just going to use main because that's the area over here that we just want to have a background color for, and we're going to add a black one for this so we can actually see it working. So if this works, it doesn't break the system, then we know our global scss works, and thankfully they put this into their own system before we had to kind of figure this one out ourselves by different medias and so on. But now they actually implemented into the Vue 2. whatever and forward, so we can use this a little bit better again. If you have an error, make sure you do this up here. If you don't have an error, no need to do it. Great, see you in the next video.